We are following some breaking news here at 4 o'clock, and this is involving an officer with the Philadelphia Police Department being injured. A very massive scene here unfolding on the 3700 block of North 15th Street in North Philadelphia, as Action News is confirming that a police officer has been injured in a shooting that is happening here on this block. Chopper 6 flying live over this scene right now. Also, our understanding is police are on this scene and still actively engaging the suspect or suspects involved. Chopper 6 pulling out, and you can see the traffic that is now building in this area. I can't fully make out how many of those white vehicles are with first responders, but a heavy presence, it appears to be unfolding here on the 3700 block of 15th Street in North Philadelphia. At least one cop has been injured in this active scene. Yeah, this scene's still fluid. Again, we are not going to zoom in because we're told that there is an active situation to engage a suspect. In other words, an arrest hopefully is imminent, but a suspect apparently still at large. Police are engaging that person at this hour. Again, the 3700 block of North 15th Street, shots fired. At least one officer was injured here in North Philadelphia. Of course, we're trying to determine exactly the extent of the injuries and exactly what transpired here. But again, an army of police cruisers on the scene here in North Philadelphia. As we take a look, we can see many officers taking a tactical stand. If you look there in the middle of your screen, it appears the activity is in that particular two-story or three-story home. Several officers just entered that home, but officers have their weapons drawn. If you really take a look, we see officers taking that tactical stand. Also in the back of the home, the blue uniforms that you see there lining up on that home in the middle of the screen. Again, 3700 block of 15th Street. This is very active, live breaking news. Chopper 6 over it. I also see officers out front with guns drawn. So they believe that they do have a suspect still in this house. I'm sure they are trying to alert people who are in the area to take cover, to do their best to get out of harm's way. As we get a wider view of all the activity that is surrounding this, people are being warned to take shelter. As officers, as they do, they are heading towards the danger to see exactly what is happening inside of this home. But we are getting word that at least one cop has been injured. We know shots have been fired. We'll have to wait to hear more in regards to if the officer was actually shot in this injury for the injury or wounded some other type of way. But let's take a look now at some video earlier from Chopper 6 as we saw officers arriving on the scene trying to assess what was happening here. These are the images Chopper 6 captured. Officers on the run, on the move, either heading towards the danger or also trying to alert those in the area or taking precautions as they appear to have been under fire. Yeah, dramatic moments here as we're looking. Video shot just moments ago from Chopper 6. Police officers rushing to the scene and trying to search for a suspect. Dramatic moments following what we believe to be an injured officer. We also saw some video of an officer running to a patrol car, appearing to be hurt, appearing to be injured. Again, a number of police cruisers on the scene. Dramatic video continuing to unfold here in the 3700 block of North 15th Street. The situation is still fluid. No word yet of the arrest of a suspect, but police are apparently engaging someone who may have been the gunman here in North Philadelphia. All right.
Where this all unfolded there in Tioga, the 3700 block. Greg, you told us you're a couple blocks away. You're along West Erie Avenue, or in that area. It was still appearing to be a very dangerous situation, even for you describing it just a short time ago. What are you seeing now?
It's still very active, and as you mentioned, Natasha, very dangerous. Police officers who are blocking this side street that we're on keep pushing the media and those living here on the block back, because as we've been reporting all afternoon, this is still a very active scene. The actual incidents of these shootings, if you look at that stop sign right there, happened around the corner, just about a few hundred yards from where I'm standing, but you can see officers here on this block every few minutes, because this is still an ongoing situation, keep pushing us back. And now you just heard from Joe Holden in his reporting that 4 of the officers that were shot have non-life-threatening injuries. One was wounded apparently as he or she was responding to this scene. It appears in just the last few seconds, though, you can see some of the undercover officers, some of the clothed officers moving some of the vehicles and moving away from the scene. It looks like they're not rushing, which is a good indication this might at least be devolving in some sense right now, but we're watching this live as you are as well. Within the past, let me give you a little bit of a sort of a timeline as what happened. 4:35 this afternoon, that is where radio traffic, standard traffic reported that at least one officer was shot. And that is when, quite frankly, all hell broke loose. Officers from around the city centering their attention on responding as quickly as possible to this scene, the 3700 block of North 15th Street. Once an officer is down, it's basically all hands on deck. Us in the media, to give you the information, we tried getting here as quickly as possible, but as you can imagine, with such a serious situation, it takes time. Roads are closed, crime scene tape goes up, and this is the situation right now. We're hearing possible, I could not tell if that was gunshots or something falling, but there are officers taking cover behind this vehicle right now. No, we're okay from our vantage point right here, but officers are now crouching down behind one of the patrol cars. There appear to be about 3 to 4 rapid fire shots. I cannot see. There are officers taking cover now. If you look in the distance here, they're running. Okay, guys, we're going to just stay back here, but we're going to show you what's going on. There are multiple officers running. A possible. I'm just relaying what I'm seeing here. We're taking cover beside a car and a home here on this block. Officers drawing their weapons and keeping us back. There appears to be possibly 3 to 4 shots being fired as about 30 seconds ago. Officers now back in the defensive position, guys. There are some that are taking cover. I see behind one of the row homes here, and others taking cover behind their patrol vehicles. And we're just gonna let this play out right now. This happening in just the past minute. You can see in the distance there, Matt, I don't know if you can show it, one of the responding vehicles with its lights and sirens heading northbound here. And like I mentioned, we heard what appeared to be possibly 3 or 4 shots just going off. That is what I interpreted. The officers here on scene took defensive positions. It seems to at least be slightly getting calmer, though you do see officers running down this block here. We are about a block or so from the 3700 block of North 15th Street. There are more shots are being fired right now. Those multiple shots are being fired. I don't know if you can hear that. It does not appear that it's happening directly on this street. But there is something happening right now. I don't know if this is officers who are engaging with the suspect or the suspect possibly engaging with officers right now, but we've heard now 2 volleys of gunshots, one happening about 2 minutes ago. It appeared to be 3 or 4, and just another about 10 seconds ago. Officers taking defensive positions. There were about at least 40, pull back if you can, there were about 40 officers gathered in this intersection right in front of me, which is very close to where this shooting happened. They've all retreated either to homes, row homes here on this block, or behind their police vehicles. We've seen multiple officers running and taking cover.
Yeah, all I heard was shots fired, and I seen many officers going down Erie Street. It was like I think it was the 1500 block of Erie, that a gentleman was on the 2nd floor apartments. He started shooting out, and everyone started running, all police, everyone. They started barricading everything at once, and then SWAT team, as of now, they're not, I don't know what they're doing, but everything's at a showdown, but every officer ran. It was really serious. This is been a while since something like this really happened.
Jacqueline, you mentioned it appeared that
we've got some breaking news now. These are live pictures from Philadelphia where 5 police officers have been shot. Let's just listen in to our NBC affiliate there.
All this is unfolding right now.
And we don't know exactly lower level, upper level, if there's been movement within that house, the number of people who are inside, but up where the air conditioner unit is in the window. Some activity there, and maybe one of those windows blown out as well through that window. So that gunfire was from the first and second floor. So clearly there was movement within that home. Where they are now, we don't know, but we know it is still a very active situation.
Looks like the curtain there on the rooftop that may have been blown out in the activity that's been taking place at this location. We don't want to speculate. We don't want to give you any information that isn't confirmed, but this we know from our sources is the house involved where this active shooter situation has been unfolding.
We believe there are more shots taking place right now. Let's go down to NBC 10's Brandon Hudson on the scene. Brandon, what are you hearing and seeing?
Yeah, we just heard a round of gunshots going on over here, and several people you can hear behind us, they gasped because they were trying to figure it out. I had one woman that was standing right next to us. She just ran to get some cover. But for the most part, if you look around, you see several of these officers are out here. They're kind of just standing guard. Most of the action is up about 50, 60 yards from where we are. We haven't seen any of those officers that we saw earlier when we got here that were on that porch. We haven't seen any of those officers lately. But again, we heard at least 6 gunshots that just happened right before you tossed to me about a couple of minutes ago. And then you talk about the gunshots that happened last time as Aaron was on TV. Again, an audible gasp from people in the crowd behind us. You got people that live in this neighborhood, people who probably took the SEPTA bus over to this area. You're getting a look at them right now. A lot of them are on their phones. We did see some parents out here.
5 police officers wounded during a shootout in Philadelphia. The scene is very active as it is unfolding right now, a massive scene. CBS 2's Natalie Duddridge in our newsroom with more on this. Natalie.
Well, Dana, the mayor's office says this is an active and ongoing scene. This shooting happened in Philadelphia's Nicetown Tioga section. 5 officers shot during a shootout with a suspect, and police say the officers were responding to a call for narcotics activity in the area. Those officers were rushed to the hospital, and their injuries are described as non-life-threatening. Officers took one suspect into custody, and there's still a massive police presence at the scene, and several nearby blocks have been cordoned off, and we're told that a SWAT team just went in a home there right now. Now, once again, 5 officers shot and wounded in Philadelphia, and we are told they are expected to survive. We're live in the newsroom. Natalie Duddridge, CBS 2 News.
Thank you, Natalie.